YouTubers what's the hardest part of making a video, you're usually met with answers like thumbnail or video idea. However, one of the most crucial elements and one of the most ignored is what separates you from top YouTubers, and it's the video hook. A hook is basically the first 30 to 60 seconds of your video, and it's the difference between having a video that lands in trending or a video that lands in the YouTube video cemetery. Top YouTubers perfectly craft their hooks so that once someone clicks on the title and thumbnail, they watch towards the end of a video. So I decided to watch hundreds of video hooks to see what the top YouTubers are doing that the rest of us aren't. And I realized that there is a formula that these YouTubers use that you are able to use in your same videos to get people to watch longer into the video. Before we talk about what goes into a hook, how long should an ideal video hook be? Well, the short answer is, it depends. The long answer is it depends on video length, your niche, and most importantly, the pacing of the video. I found video hooks that are 10 seconds long, and I've also found ones that are a minute long. Both effective, both getting loads of views. And from doing my research, it's usually 2 to 5% of the video length. But I don't think you should use this as a rigid rule, because the most important thing to determine how long your hook is the pacing of the video. The pacing of the video is basically how quickly you deliver information, or in other words, the vibe of your video. We have channels like MrBeast with a quick, snappy delivery with a really high pace. And we have channels like The Odd Ones Out where they take their time with their story, so the pace is much slower. Both very successful channels, but wildly different in their delivery. But the one thing they have in common is that the pace of their hook is quicker than the pace of the rest of their video. But how do you affect the pace of your video? How do you make it quicker or slower? Well, it's simple. They affect the changes that happen in the video per time. But not to sound too convoluted, the way we perceive change is how many visual or audible changes that happen per time. If you see something changing, or if you hear something changing, that tends to increase the pacing of the video. So throughout the video, and especially in the video hook, top YouTubers will do things like use images, text, videos to re-grab your attention visually, or use music and sound effects to grab your attention audibly. All of these work because they are engaging your senses, and hence you don't really feel bored because things are happening on screen. And every second that they're not bored, especially in the hook, is one step closer to them being convinced to watch the video towards the end, which is ultimately the goal of a good hook. But now we've learned the basics of what makes a good hook. What goes into the hook? What do you need to say? Because it's all well and good having a quickly delivered hook, but if the contents of the hook sucks, people are just gonna click off anyways. So for this, we need to teleport into the viewer's mind. You're scrolling through YouTube and you see a title and thumbnail that induce curiosity in you, and you are curious enough to click on that video. That video hook has just a few seconds to convince you that this video is worth watching. And this is why top YouTubers reinforce the title and thumbnail in their video hook. This is by far the most essential tip to keep them watching. Because there's a lot of clickbait on YouTube, and because audience members sometimes aren't 100% sure they want to watch the video towards the end, a video hook is just going to answer a simple question. Is this the video that the title and thumbnail promise? This video from Colin and Samir is an amazing example of that. Because you look at the title and thumbnail and you assume Mark Zuckerberg is going to be in the video, they're going to explain what the metaverse is, and they're going to go into depth about problems within the metaverse. So you know what happened in the first 10 seconds of that video?
Today, we're going to talk about the metaverse. I believe the metaverse is the next chapter for the internet.
Mark Zuckerberg's address on the future of the internet made very little sense to us.
They reinforce that title and thumbnail. So now you're hooked because you were intrigued by the video, the hook delivered on that title and thumbnail, and now you are ready to continue watching the video. But to be honest, all of these tactics differ from one niche to another depending on your style of videos and depending on your own personality. But the one thing that never changes is the emotion that an audience member has to feel to be hooked. Through doing my own research, I've realized that top YouTubers deliver one of 3 emotions within the hook. And if you are able to induce one of these 3 emotions in an audience member, they will watch your video towards the end. And the first emotion we're gonna induce today is curiosity. It's not a surprise that curiosity gets the click on YouTube, but how do you make sure that the audience member continues to feel curious throughout that video? This video called I Taught an AI to Solve the Trolley Problem is perfect for this.
Can you teach a robot to be a good person? To figure it out, I forced the machine to solve the trolley problem.
You've just made an orphan.
When you clicked on the title and thumbnail, there was a question that you wanted answering. So the hook's job is to fill you with more and more curiosity. Because a title and thumbnail can only do so much. But when you start the video, you have to amplify that curiosity. So here what they do on this channel is they amplify that title and thumbnail to make you more and more curious. By saying things like, I taught a computer to be a good person. There's also a second emotion that YouTubers use a lot, and it's anticipation. Very close to curiosity, but very different in execution. This video from Nika Amalana does this perfectly.
I'll go get someone. Just give me a sec. There's customers.
Oh my god!
So the video starts with him behind the Subway counter, talking to potential customers, and it cuts right before something is about to happen. This is a classic cliffhanger. So you're not just curious, you're anticipating what's going to happen. You have all of these thoughts in your head to what might happen, but you need to know for a fact so you continue watching the video towards the end. Curiosity and anticipation are quite similar in that the title of thumbnail starts a spark and they amplify that spark into a fire to keep people watching towards the payoff towards the end of the video. But if you're thinking my channel doesn't always induce curiosity, because the third emotion, and my personal favorite, is humor. This is exhibited a lot throughout YouTube, where the first 20 to 30 seconds just makes you laugh. Like this video where Jaden Animation talks about her childhood obsession with animals.
I've always been an animal lover. Ever since I saw a picture of a dog, I've been like, I want that.
Just having a funny opener is enough to get people to continue watching the video. Because at the end of the day, people are on YouTube to be entertained. And humor is one of the best ways to entertain someone. If you can make someone laugh, they will probably watch your video towards the end. So don't get fixated on having the absolute perfect hook. Just get fixated on inducing an emotion in the person in front of you. All of what we discussed today are just tools that you can use in your arsenal to educate, to entertain, but it's all about the viewer. It's all about cultivating a hook that makes the viewer want to watch more, not tricked into watching more. So I hope you remember this next time you work on your hook. Oh, and having cool sunglasses also really helps with your hook. And while hooks are also very difficult to make, what's even more difficult is making a title and thumbnail. So watching this video will show you how the best in the business do it, so you can do it too. I'll see you guys in the next one.